And living in that community, living in poverty for me means that both of my parents doesn't have a job. And we were homeless when we were growing up, so we were forced to live with 17 of our other relatives in a very small shack.
One more time, how many relatives?
17.
17 relatives in one home.
In a very small shack. And, dinner time for us would mean that there is one egg for all of us. And that would be a great feast for us because, my parents doesn't have a job. But, living in that community, gave so much hopelessness for me because my dad was a drug abuser, my dad was a drug addict, and he left us when we were young. And most of the children there were sold into child labor and prostitution. So that is the kind of environment that I grew up in.
Something dramatic happened in your life that changed the course of your life forever. Tell us about that.
At the age of 6, I saw a glimmer of hope when one Sunday morning my Aunt Carol brought me to Calvary Foursquare Church Compassion Project. And stepping into that Compassion Project, I knew that my life will never be the same again because the first thing that I've learned there is that Jesus Christ loves me. And I had my first Bible there. So I learned about the scriptures on how God is our Father and I am His precious daughter. And then the great thing that happened to me there was when I got to know my compassion sponsors. And my compassion sponsors are from here in the United States. And they gave me so much encouragement because they always write me letters. In compassion, you can send a letter to your child and you can send pictures. And I got a lot of letters from them. And they would always tell me, Michelle, you are a beautiful little girl. We are so proud of you. We are praying for you and we love you. Because in the community where I grew up in, people are telling me, Michelle, you are ugly. You will become nothing but a thief and a drug addict when you grow up. But my compassion sponsor did a great job, not just in sending me to school, giving me food, giving me health care, but in the relationship that they have with me.
I want to hear more about how your life has changed since, but there are some people in the audience right now who have the sponsor packets. And hearing Michelle's story, if you are one of the people who say, you know what, we can make a difference in the life of a child somewhere in the world, just like Michelle, so that someday she can be standing, or he can be standing on a stage at the God and Country Rally, number 63. Raise your hand right now, and we have folks who are in the audience who are waiting and watching, and they're going to bring one of these packets to you. Now, these packets are special. They're each and every one of them unique because they represent each and every one of them the unique life of a child. And when you take that packet, that means you are going to be making that incredible difference in that child's life. So let's talk about it. Right now you're on a stage in Nampa, Idaho. Who would have thought? But what's happened in your life since that time?
So because of what happened in my life, because of the sponsors that I have with Compassion International, I began to dream, and for 6 years, God has allowed me to become the marketing director of the first ever gospel theater in Asia, which is named Trumpets. And Trumpet stands for Triumphant People Evangelistic Theater Society. So we have a ministry, and I'm managing that ministry that is focused on Jesus Christ, and we spread the gospel all over Asia using the professional performing arts as our instrument.
That is incredible. What a success story made possible by prayer, by a family here in the United States, and by your hard work. Tell folks what they're going to find in this packet of information when they raise their hand, why it's so important they take one tonight.
I always tell people that compassion has not just released me from poverty, but it has taught me to dream big, to make a difference, because now I'm a compassion sponsor myself. I'm sponsoring 2 children from the Philippines and from Burkina Faso, and to never lose heart for my country. I'm doing my master's here in the United States at the Moody Bible Institute, and I believe that God will use me as I go back to my country and just, strengthen the arts there and sharing about Jesus Christ. So that's my dream, and if God will allow me to make a difference in that field, I would really give the glory and, praises to Him.
Fabulous. Michelle, once more, the folks right now have an opportunity to put their hand up and have a chance to make a difference in a young person's life right now. So we have people that are scattered throughout the audience. Raise a hand, and let's talk about what they do with this once they get a hold of this and see the special child on the inside.
Yeah, so you can get the child pocket, and there's a form there that you can fill up, and then if you have any other questions, we are there in the compassion booth, and then we are free to talk to them for any other questions that you want to ask.
So once again, the Compassion International booth is up with the rest of the booths. Michelle's going to be there. She can answer any questions you have. You can definitely get a packet if you don't have one in your hand right now. And we encourage you to take this opportunity and make the difference. Share the blessings in your life, the fact that you live in a free country and can have this opportunity. Michelle, thank you so much. Anything else you want to add?
Thank you so much for having me here, and it's a great opportunity to be seeing that not just in my part of the world, that there are Christians who love Jesus, and this festival really shows that America is a very generous country who loves the Lord, who loves Jesus Christ so much. So thank you for having me here.
Michelle, thank you so much. Thank you. Once again, you'll find the Compassion